Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Friendly Circle Berlin Recovery Workshop series. My name is Patrick. I'm an alcoholic. We're open to all 12-step fellowships or those not in 12-step fellowships who are interested in the subject matter. We're open to all. So today's workshop, titled Yoga and the 12-Step Path, is with author and yoga teacher Kyczy Hawk. Kyczy is a woman in long-term recovery who has been a yoga teacher since 2008, teaching both group and private classes, writing about yoga and recovery. Her well-known books, two of them, one is titled Yogic Tools for Recovery, and the other one, Yoga and the 12-Step Path. Kyczy also takes classes to jails, recovery homes, halfway houses, and detention centers, helping others find inner guidance and strength through yoga and with each other. Her volunteer time includes classes at the Recovery Cafe, San Jose, and Elmwood Jail, bringing the holistic healing powers of yoga to these venues. Great work, Kyczy, and now I'll turn it over to you. Thank you so much for joining us again today.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction. I do want to say they haven't let me back in jail yet. They're still coming to a new format of letting non-essential people in, but I should be there. I should be in jail in January. Cross fingers. So the new year, and I'll go back to jail. So again, my name is Kyczy Hawk. I am a woman in recovery from alcoholism, addiction, from parental alcoholism, and also from a grown child, a man who is a recovering meth addict. So I've certainly seen this disease from all facets. And I won't go into my long story, but yoga became a very important part of my recovery maybe 20 years ago. And I've been forming my yoga practice around neurological benefits, the healing benefits of yoga, rather than a part of yoga that might appeal for exercise purposes. So some people use yoga for exercise purposes. I'm over on the other side where it's more the Ayurvedic and healing practices of yoga. And I'm not here to talk to you about that either. So in order to focus myself, I'm first going to take a breath and then tell you what we're going to do. So you can join me moving or not moving as you choose. Inhaling. And exhaling. I did one of the breath practices that I'm going to teach in just a minute, but it's a quick vagus nerve reset to move me from the kind of the activation of my nervous system to a more peaceful, pro-social, community-oriented aspect of my nervous system. And those are parts of our automatic nervous system. The breath is one of our parts of our nervous system that we can consciously control. And that's all to the good, because it's going to be one of the tools that we can utilize in a vagus nerve reset. Vagus nerve. Someone asked before we started, what is the vagus nerve? Like, what the heck? And the vagus nerve is the longest and most wide-reaching nerve in our nervous system. It goes through the whole of our face. It goes down the sides of the neck. It goes through our whole thoracic cavity, through the lungs and the heart, through all of the fascia, which is this like gooey, slippery substance that is all over our body, but particularly the vagus nerve touches the fascia throughout the torso, down through the viscera, all of our yummy, slippery, glistening guts, all the way down to our belly brain, that part of our self that tells us how we're really doing. So that information that we can get from our our stomach and our intestines. And I actually can talk about just the vagus nerve for about an hour and a half. So I'm not going to do that now. What I'd like to do is to focus on how the vagus nerve is deeply involved in the practice of yoga. And the practice of yoga includes our ethics, our values, our thinking, our feeling, our integrity. It includes the movement of the body, includes a conscious movement of the breath. It includes our ability to identify and disengage from sensory input. It includes our ability to focus and concentrate. It includes our ability to meditate, and it includes our surrender to our higher power. Those are the 8 parts of yoga. Sometimes we only think yoga is one part. Those are all of yoga. So you can see that a nerve that goes throughout behind our eyes, in our ears, down the jaw, the back of the throat, the top of the mouth, throughout the chest, swirling around all of our guts. You can see that there's so much information being transferred from the brain to the body and through the vagus nerve from the body to the brain. It's a two-way street. I know that you've had some people talking about the vagus nerve and dorsal vagal overload and lots of complicated things. I'm going to try to keep this user-friendly, meaning hopefully what I go over today will allow you to get the cognitive part out right now as we're talking. Then I'm going to take it to the mat, and then afterwards you can ask some questions. So right now, jot down questions that you have, and I will do my best to address them at the end. And of course, thank you. Thank you for having me here. This is a passion of mine, and I'm always delighted to have the opportunity to talk about stuff that interests me, because as you know, it's all about me. So I mentioned that the vagus nerve is all throughout the head. It's behind our eyes, in our ears, and in our throats. We're going to do 3 practices that will address this. The vagus nerve, we want to, there's something called vagal tone, which kind of means our bounce back ability, if you will. It's the ability to move from being in our sympathetic nervous system, where we're either engaged in fight or flight or freeze, to be able to move over to a more, I used that word earlier, pro-social, a more engaged, calm, grounded, a wholesome and enteric way of feeling, sensing, believing, and responding. Why is yoga different than, say, going out and playing tennis or doing gymnastics or practicing aerobics? What makes it different is that often we come to the yoga mat with an intention. And the intention can be to let the practice work on us. We move the body in a way that might
It's everything. I don't want you to.
So might tease the edge of our oops, I lost my word there. That might tease the edge of tension or stressors on the muscles. And we come back from that edge, and we learn how to tolerate that edge and come back from it in a healthy way, so that we're able then off the mat to experience some negativity and be able to draw on our internal resources to process it, so we can ride the waves of emotions just like we ride the waves of effort in a yoga practice. Intention counts for a lot. The reason I want to talk before we do the movements, and I'm not going to tell you what and why I'm doing the certain movements, unless you're curious, and if you're curious, you can ask me later, because I would love to have a period of time, even, a part of the yoga practice where you drop out of your thinking mind and fall into your feeling experience. But we are going to be on the mat. You can choose to sit in a chair. Any posture, any movement that is not comfortable, skip it. There'll be another move, another posture that will suit you and fit you properly. I am not a medical professional in any way. I have no ability to address any specific diagnosis. I do want to say that if you have glaucoma or some congestive heart issues, that teasing the breath to its maximum can be deleterious, can be dangerous. So please, when we're teasing the breath, tease to a comfortable maximum and not one that makes you, and this you feel like your eyes are going to pop out of your head, or you feel like you're going to gulp for air, or you're not getting enough. That's going to put you way over on the sympathetic nervous system side. That's not where we want to be. We want to be in the realm of the parasympathetic side, on the realm of the parasympathetic side. There we go. And just embrace the experience rather than challenge ourselves. Yoga is multifaceted. We utilize breath. I mentioned a bunch of things, but these are the three that we're going to look at today: is breath and mantra, which means a repeated sound or word or phrase, just like we have, let go and let God, or when we say the serenity prayer out loud or in our head, we're saying a soothing, repetitive phrase that has meaning to us and offers us solace and support. So there are mantras that we can repeat, the most simple of which you may all have heard of, which is Om. I'll tell you why that's a very useful mantra. We're going to use a vocalized breath practice. And then, of course, we're going to do the movements on the mat. I mentioned glaucoma, hypertension, or even low blood pressure. Be sure to operate within the realm of comfort, or if you yourself know that that something that we're about to do is contraindicated, just step it through or don't do it at all. I trust each one of you to take care of your bodies in a loving and respectful way. Be humble and do what is comfortable rather than do something that feels aggressive. I'm going to take about another 4 minutes and I'm going to answer the question, what the heck happened and why do we care about the vagus nerve? Like, so what? What happened? Why is this important? We have emotions stuck in our bodies. The history of our life is embedded in our fascia tissue, can be embedded in chronic tightness. I was doing some vagal exercises for the abdomen, which I'm not going to do today because it's not healthy for everybody. It's not a generalized practice, but you can even just take your fingertips and touch your abdomen below your rib cage. And aside from feeling the tone of your strength muscles, you can feel that the fascia is tight and resistant in one quadrant or another. If you put a little X on your belly below the rib cage down to your hip bones, you can just palpate that area and you can find a sense of tightness. And that is some vestigial gripping that occurs even from our pre-verbal life. Our body is absolutely never going to be completely at ease because life just keeps coming down the runway. What we can do is find ways to loosen the grip that difficulties and challenges may have on us. But many of us walk into these rooms with history. And being able to bring health and vitality to the vagus nerve, to bring that vagal tone, that jump back ability, the ability to do something in the moment, some remedial effort to bring you back to the parasympathetic side, to let the breath be smooth and juicy rather than gripping, tight, and rough. The more tools that we can have in that tool chest, perhaps the more integrated we can feel, because you have within you the power to meet the present moment. So if you find that you in the past have been living in kind of a constant state of low-grade anxiety that then colors your perception of life, you can reverse a lot of that through a consistent practice. Well, some of these hints from Heloise or life hacks or ways to reset the vagus nerve, the nervous system, while they do work in the moment, the efficacy will last longer and longer the more often you use them. One more minute. When we have poor vagal tone, we can affect the microbiome in our gut. It can affect our hormonal system. When we can affect our immune system, our cardiac system, our respiratory system. So it decreases our ability to self-regulate our emotions and even our cognition. When you're wound around the axle and feeling tight and anxious and waiting for the other shoe to drop, I can tell you it's a lot harder to learn something new in that condition than if you were feeling calm and if you were feeling balanced and if you were feeling present. So it affects our cognition, our ability to learn, and our ability to remember. So here's the solution. Let's begin with a breath. So I'm going to scoot back a little bit. And Patrick, if my voice or tone becomes unintelligible or harsh, just wave, let me know, and I'll try to adjust it. Because one of the ways that we move with our vagal tone is to have pleasant sounds. So if I begin to start harsh and strident, like breathe, darn you, breathe, obviously that's not going to calm you down a whole lot. So hopefully you can hear. All right. Comfortable position, meaning you can sit on the ground, you can sit on a chair, you can sit on a blanket on the ground, but be comfortable. We're going to begin with what's called Brahmini or bee breath. I love the bee breath because, well, I love bees. If you don't love bees, then bee breath can just be B-E, meaning exist, breath. Either way. The breath is done by inhaling and exhaling through the nose, but when you exhale, you kind of hum like a bee. Not too difficult. We're going to do this about 10 times, but we're first going to begin with a few inhale and exhale breaths to find your current personal rhythm. And when we do the bee breath, while you will hear me, I really encourage you to use your own pace so that it is yummy and healthy, salubrious for your constitution. Let's take 3 breaths to normalize our breath rhythm. By normalize, I mean let it show off and be what it is. On your next exhale, allow yourself to hum like a bee in your throat. Mm. Five more times. Softening the armpits and the muscles around the ribs. And let the tone vibrate through your head if you can. About 3 more from now. Mm. 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 Pause now and just see what you feel like after having breathed in that way. That stimulated the vagus nerve as it runs down the sides of the neck and behind the throat. Another place that the vagus nerve touches is the inner ear. Now, certainly while you were humming, there was some vibration happening in the ear canals and also on the outside of the ear as it was coming in, as you were feeling yourself making the sound and hearing yourself make the sound. Another way to stimulate the vagus nerve is to actually manipulate the ears. And there's a long ear practice. We're going to do a piece of the ear practice just to have it in your toolkit. Now, you don't put your finger directly in your ear hole. That's probably not what your ENT guy would like you to do. But right around above the ear hole is a little notch where the beautiful fold of your ear attaches to your head. So put your finger in that little ear notch and you make little circles in one direction. You don't press so hard that you feel like you're drilling a hole in your skull, but firmly enough so you can actually feel the ear kind of move around. You may feel like you're swallowing more, or you may feel that your breath is somehow changing. Go ahead and reverse that direction. Or if you're very close to the edge of vagal reset, you might even find, excuse me, that you yawn. And complete the circle that you're on and bring your hand down and notice any quality you feel about your left ear or the ear that you were working on. Just notice, do you feel any sensation inside the ear, on the skin around and behind the ear? Just notice what you notice. There's no one thing to feel. It is merely an investigation of what it's like right now. So my other ear is saying, what about me? And so putting the finger just inside that last fold right above the ear hole, just gently roll the finger around, kind of like when you're just a little kid. Just roll it around. Breathing smoothly. If you've been to certain myofascial massages or even an adept masseuse, sometimes they will manipulate your ears and reverse the circle. And you might have wondered what the heck they were doing. And this is what they were doing, helping you with a little vagal release. And then go ahead and bring the hand down. Some of the signs of vagal release, of moving over to the parasympathetic side is, as I mentioned, perhaps a change in the heart, not the heart rate. Well, yes, that's true, in your heart rate. I'll do one more exercise to demonstrate that. But in your breath rhythm, your mouth may become a slightly more moist, or you could yawn. And sometimes a forced yawn is a way to reset, because making the buzzing noise, the humming, that might be something you could do in your car or in your home. But if you're at work, in a pub or in a public place, that's probably not going to be a reset that you can use. But you can turn your back, perhaps covering your face politely, and imagine, or actually do, lift the soft palate of your mouth. So above the root of the tongue is, I'm so sorry, I can't teach it without feeling it. You lift the soft palate in your mouth, right above the base of your tongue. That kind of causes the tongue to go down. And it can encourage you to yawn. Your eyes may moisten. When you're yawning, your breath does a reset. You can't adjust your breath while you're yawning because there's an automatic reset. And so sometimes a yawn can just put you back into a state where you can choose whether to react or respond. I meant to have it near me. I'm going to turn my back and scuttle back and get an eye pillow, so pardon me. I have eye pillows. You can have a bag of peas or a small bag of a plastic bag of rice, anything you want, kind of small and supple, and you can keep it in your freezer. There are two things you can do with an eye pillow that you usually put on your eyes during Shavasana or during some postures in yoga. If you freeze it, you can cool your feverish brain. When the brain just starts moving so fast and you're thinking and you're planning and you're catastrophizing and obsessing and perseverating, and you don't know that you can stop, you get out your this still stays supple when it's been in the freezer, and you can put it on your eyes 3 to 5 minutes, and it will soothe your feverish brain. The other quick reset is to put it on one side of your neck. Use a bag of ice, not a bag of ice, like one of those ice packs you can put on an injury or in your picnic basket, or a bag of peas. Put it on one side of your neck for 15 seconds, and then put it on the other side of your neck for 15 seconds, and alternate. What that does, resets your vagal nerve, because it's right here in your neck, coming down the side of your neck. So those are a few. The B breath, what do we do next? We did the ear, we did the yawn, and then we have the cooling of the side of the neck, or the soothing of a feverish brain. All of those are quick resets. And I want to underline one of how effective it is. It's effective because of intention. I mean, it is physiologically effective. Like if you're a patient and you don't know what the heck is going on, and you're having a very anxious time, a nurse might put a cool rag on your forehead or on your neck to help cool you down, or someone might suggest that you hum or breathe. You can see kids do this a lot when they're playing, and then they start humming and they're soothing themselves. So you don't necessarily have to know what you're doing to have it be effective, but when you know what you're doing, for it to be effective, you might find that it has a little extra ability to become effective. Back to a seating position. So part of the magic is not knowing that it's magic. When you sit, whether you're on a chair or on the floor, be aware of the fact that you're sitting, and bring conscious awareness to whatever your body is touching. Whether if you're sitting on a chair, be sure the soles of both feet are flat on the floor, and that you're not crossing your ankles or your legs, or just let the body be even on both sides. We use the phrase in meditation as well as in centering before yoga to drop into your breath, meaning to pull all of the thoughts that are waving around, all of the thinking, the searching, the considering, drop in, bring all of those thoughts in and drop them down. Get grounded right now, just for this minute. Let me lead you for the next 40 minutes or so. Letting the jaw, the shoulders, and the muscles around the ribs, down the back, and in front of the abdomen, let them become soft. Breathing in and breathing out in your personal breath rhythm. It's your native rhythm, the one that feels best to you right now, in the security of your posture, in the company of so many well-wishers. We wish one another so well. We wish only the best for one another. Just feel what it's like to be held in so much love. To begin to move, engage the breath by inhaling, bringing the arms wide and up and overhead, and look up. The chin is tilted up and you're looking up. And then as you bring your arms out, tip the chin to your chest and look down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. One more time, inhale up. Look up, and this time exhale down with the left arm only. Chin down. Tip over to the left. And we begin. Turn your face towards your hand on the ground. Turn your eyes towards your hand in the air. Now, you're not going to see your upraised hand. You're just moving your eyes in the opposite direction of your face. Pause here, breathe here. Eyes are up, face is down, and we're tipping to the side. We do this for 20 or 30 seconds. Of course, if you have a hot, sharp, or sudden pain anywhere, please come out of the pose and do less. Release the eyes, look down with the eyes, and on your next inhale, come up, bring both arms up. And then on the exhale, bring your right hand down, tip to the right. Turn your face down and turn your eyes up. And of course, breathe. Just notice what goes on in your brain, how your eyes feel, how simple or challenging this may be. Eyes are looking up, the face is tilted down, the breath is smooth, you're tilting to the right. On your next inhale, come up, both arms come up, and bring both hands down. Blink your eyes and take a moment here. Nice warm up. Change the crisscross of your legs if you're sitting cross-legged, or stay with the way you are. Please bring your right ear, that would be this one, your right ear toward the right shoulder. Bring the right hand up, hold the head gently. So you're not trying to pull it off of the neck stem, you're just touching it. Now turn the face toward the knee, and once again, look up in the corner of your eye. So the gaze is up, the tilt of the face is down. And the ancient yogis had a series of movements that one did before all of the other postures that we might do in a conventional yoga class. Take another breath here. Turn the eyes down toward the knee, turn the face forward, slide the hand to the cheek, and raise your head up with love and care. Bring the hand down. Take a moment now to notice the right side. Notice the left side. And notice the internal landscape. So the yogis did what were called joint and gland movements, and most of them included this opposition movement with the eye. Tip the left ear toward the left shoulder. Bring the hand on top. Turn the face down. Turn the gaze up. They did many postures that included eyes, the tilt of the head, the conscious doing opposites with opposite sides of the body. And it was, we now call it neurologic or neurogenic yoga, but it's been in the books for a long time. Notice where you feel a sensation of stretch. Like right now, I'm feeling the stretch on the right side of my neck. It's greater than the feeling I had on the other side. Just note it, nothing wrong, just note it. Okay, look down. Turn the face forward, slide the hand, and gently bring the head upright. It's nice to give those muscles a break after you've stretched them out. Roll your shoulders a few times. The pause is as important as the pose. For those sitting on a chair, just stay the way you are. Notice if you feel any shift. I just felt a big shift, so that could just be me, but notice when and how you feel a shift, what was different before and after you did a certain movement or posture. So if you're sitting on a chair, just sit on your chair. If you're sitting on the ground, take the right leg and flip it over. Okay, I'm going to move my body back. I hope you can still. So hopefully you can see my right foot is to the right and my left foot is to the right. Also, this is called deer pose. So, and one hand is on either side of my left knee. My back is straight. I'm moving toward now, having the center of my chest toward the center of my knee. So the body is twisted somewhat, which is so nice for the vagus nerve down here in the guts. With your breath, let's begin with chin to chest, looking down at the knee. On your next inhale, lift your chin and continue to gaze down toward the knee. Lift the chin all the way up. And then look up toward the ceiling and exhale, bringing the chin back down to the chest. So your breath rhythm, let it be comfortable and smooth. Look down at the knee and inhale up. I'm going to do this a total of 3 times. And then look up, keeping the eyes up toward the eyebrows as you exhale the chin back down to the chest. Keep the body in that slight twist, look down, and last time, up. And look up as you bring the chin down. When the chin hits the chest, now look down, blink your eyes a little bit and lift your chin up and face forward. Take a moment to note for yourself, how did that feel? Was that a simple act for you to keep the eyes down when you were lifting the face up, keeping the eyes up when you were bringing the face down? Was one way more simple than the other? Did they both present an equal challenge or equal ease? No wrong answer, just reflect. Flip those legs over, and we're going to do this on the other side. So twisting the torso so that you're facing the right knee, one hand on either side, chin is on the chest, eyes are down. As we do this, you might also notice a change in the range of motion of your neck. So looking down, inhale the whole time that you're lifting the chin up and gazing down. So you don't just inhale a lot and then move, and then gaze up as you exhale, bringing the chin back down to the chest. You try. Breathe with the movement and move with the breath. Down and up, continue. Take a sip of my water. And a third time. When the chin hits the chest after that third time, lower the eyes also. Then blink your eyes, get the eyeballs back into the center of the eye socket. Come out of the twist, and you can extend your legs out in front of you and shake them out. If you have a blanket or a towel, or even a small decorative cushion from your couch, please put it on your mat because you're going to be kneeling on it. Now you might not need it, but sometimes it's nice to be kind before you need it. So we're going to be doing a few postures from the kneeling position. This is harder to do if you're sitting on a chair, but if you're sitting on a chair, hands on the knees, doing cat-cow will be sufficient. And before we start, I get to embarrass myself. So this is what I'm going to do. Cat-cow is where you round your back and then arch your back with the breath. And we're going to be doing that, but we're going to make it extra special by adding roaring lion, tiny mouse. Oh boy, this is a whole face and whole throat experience, vagus nerve related. This is how it goes, because I'm going to be doing it on the mat and you won't be able to see me, but inhaling, on the exhale, roaring lion, sticking the tongue out, opening the eyes and making an ah sound. So inhale and inhale. Tiny mouse, push all of your features all together toward the tip of the nose, making your face as tiny as possible. Squinch it up. And again, inhale. Exhale into lion. Inhale into mouse. And we're going to do that 3 times as we do the cat-cow on the mat. So have fun with it. There's no yoga police. No one's going to tell you you've done it wrong. So just enjoy. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. I'll do 1 round of cat-cow just to show you what the movement of the body is. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. So inhale here, exhale, roar. Inhale, mouse. Exhale, roar. Inhale, mouse. Exhale, roar. 1 more bonus one. Release, toes together, walk the knees apart, push the hips back to the heels, and take a moment in child's pose. If your head doesn't reach the ground, you can stack your fists, 1 potato, 2 potato, and rest your head on your fists. Or you can put your head on the ground. Child's pose is the posture you can adopt at any time during the practice. 1 more sequence before we come to lying on our backs. So, from hands and knees pose with as much aplomb as you can muster, bring the left leg forward. So the left leg is forward. The knee is not exactly over the ankle. It will when we move, but it's not there now. and bring the left hand on the outside of the left knee, pushing the knee into the hand into the knee. We'll be rocking in and out of the posture like this. Inhaling, right arm comes up, rock the body forward, still pushing the hand into the knee into the hand, and then come out. We're going to add the head movement with it. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look forward. 2 more times. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. Last time. Inhale, up. Now this time when you exhale and come forward, bring your hands to the mat. Both hands on the inside of the foot. Now I didn't mention, but if you have a block and your arms need the ground brought up, you can put your hands on the block. Otherwise, you bring your hands to the mat. Knees over the ankle. You see me okay? I hope you can see me okay. If not, just feel your way through it. My hands are on the mat on the inside of my left foot. I'm rocking the left leg out onto the outer edge of the foot, dropping my hips down. And then rolling the sole of my foot back onto the ground, drawing the hips back. 3 times more with breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Warming the hip up for what is to come. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back. Now here's the trick. Left foot is forward. The left arm wraps around the left leg. And here's where we kind of massage the belly. Take the right hand on the inside of the left foot and now turn toward the left, pushing the knee toward the middle of your body. So that same pressure of a hand into knee is coming into play right now. Kind of stack your shoulders up, keeping the hand on the leg. Sometimes we stretch the arm up. That isn't this pose today. Today we're encouraging the leg to move in toward the abdomen. And unwind. Both hands come down and we come out the way we came in by bringing the knee back toward the mat. Come into child's pose and pause. With the slight twist and using the knee, we're kind of bringing a little bit of pressure to one side of the abdomen at a time. Return to hands and knees pose. Bring the right foot forward. Bring the right hand on the outside of the knee. Left hand is by the side. Inhale, up, look up. Exhale, look forward as you straighten the leg. Still pushing, there's a little bit of isometric movement here. Inhale. Exhale. Again. And exhale. One side teaches the other, so you're a little bit more accustomed to what we're doing. Come back up. This is the last time. And come down. Then bring both hands to the ground or to the block. We're going to rock the leg out and bring it back. Rock the leg out onto the outer edge, what we call the outer blade of the foot, and then roll back onto the sole. 2 more times. Out to the side and back to the sole. Last time, out to the side, back to the sole. And now we're going to do the little twist of hugging the right arm around the leg, pulling the leg in toward the midline of the body. Left hand is on the inside of the right leg, and you're twisting toward the right. Soft shoulder, soft jaw. Just notice the sensations that are happening in the body, and whatever you're feeling is correct, and stay on the sweet side of the spiciness of the posture. One more breath like this. Unwind. Bring both hands down. Bring the right leg back and push back into child's pose. Notice how your child's pose feels after you've been rocking the legs. Walk your hands towards your knees. Wiggle yourself around so you're sitting on your bum. If you like, you could sit on a folded blanket. Bend your knees and thread your arms behind your thighs. You can hold the opposite forearm and snuggle in. Lengthen the spine. Just press your body against your thighs as best you can. You can have your feet be wide, or you can have your heels directly in front of your sit bones. It doesn't matter. Take a breath here, and then just walk your feet out a little more, trying to keep the back long and the body pretty close to the thighs. And then bring the feet out just as far as is comfortable. Everybody has a different amount of bendability. Everybody has a different amount of flexibility of movement until they feel a sensation of stretch or lengthening. Try to keep the toes and the kneecaps facing the ceiling rather than rolling out or rolling in. And when you come to your furthest point, round your back and drop your head. Just notice the sensations that go primarily, well, I'm not even going to say primarily. Notice the sensations that go through your body. No suggestions needed. Just notice what you notice. And release the back of your legs, hands down to the ground. Sit up, extend both legs into seated mountain pose or staff pose. Nice and tall. Oops. Okay. One last posture before Shavasana. A gentle twist. So you can put the blanket behind your head, or you can just lie flat on the ground. Arms are out from the shoulders. If you don't have enough room to reach, just bring your arms into cactus, but find a way to position your arms on the ground. And this is how it's going to go. Bring your feet pretty close together. Turn both palms down. If your hands are in cactus, you can't do that. So just hum along and pretend like you know the words. But if your arms are outstretched, turn your head toward the right, turning the right palm up, lifting the right shoulder, dropping the knees to the left. You're rotating the palm, rotating the arm, lifting the shoulder blade, and looking over to the right. Knees are to the left. Unwind. So use your belly to bring the soles of your feet back to the ground. Unwind. The arm palm is down, nose and knees are up. Other side. Start by turning the head, turning the arm. The shoulder lifts slightly, tucking the shoulder blade slightly, dropping the knees and arching the back. Breathe here. Bring looseness. You may feel some congestion because you were doing things that you didn't know what they were going to be. And so your body was in a heightened state of readiness. Roll back onto your back, palm down. And then please do that with your breath, inhaling into the pose, exhaling out of the pose. Do that 2 or 3 more times, and then extend your legs and come into Shavasana. Inhaling, complicated twist and turn, and exhaling using your belly. Inhaling and arching and stretching. Find some delicious luxury about the movement. And when you're complete, on both sides, allow the whole body to feel languid. Extend your feet out in Shavasana. We're going to have an eternity of silence, which will just be 2 minutes. I'm still here. We're all still here. Let the ground support you. Let the body gather in all the benefits of the postures and movements that you have just done. Begin to bring a little more attention to your breath. Begin to animate your hands and feet, your arms and legs. Give yourself the gift of a slow unraveling by stretching out and then you can draw the knees in and hug them in and rock from side to side, thanking your body with appreciation and gratitude for letting you play today. You can rock to one side and come to a seated position.